Maybe there's some delay for plans on the show, or maybe there's a struggle to make a certain turn for an angle. I have a very hard time believing it's incompetency at this kind of level, but the SmackDown women's roster, it feels like such a jumbled mess right now, and it does extend into the Raw roster as well, but specifically, or the main issue I'm seeing is SmackDown's women's roster. I do wonder if they're short-handed maybe, because nothing that has been done since January 1st, 2025 has made any kind of consistent sense, or any sense at all. You know, I was very excited for the inaugural Women's Intercontinental and United States Championship, and I did actually think there was going to be some big stories to launch alongside the launch of the titles themselves, you know? And in one of these episodes, after it was revealed who was going to be the champions, ushering in 2025 and the Netflix deal, I declared it to be Hot Girl Season. And more than ever, right now, it seems I was dead ass accurate. I felt like the story and character arc of Chelsea Green was very poorly executed. During Chelsea Green's run, she had more losses, whether it be singles matches, as few as they were, or tag matches. She had more losses than wins. I wonder if there's some kind of writing conflict or something, because the writing department could not be that incompetent, right? To have a champion lose more times than win during their championship reign. I very much wonder if the title was put on Zelina Vega just to keep it Hot Girl Season. Tiffany Stratton's run has not been very well executed, even if the Charlotte rivalry didn't even happen. For some reason, Tiffany is a workhorse in all kinds of non-title and tag team matches. I understand people want to see the champion. I understand people want to see T-Strat. But if she's gonna be in matches every week, then we need to go ahead and make it count for something. Put the title on the line, make it open challenge. You know, it would really raise the value of the title and whoever she's facing, I would imagine. So why are those kinds of obvious things not happening with this division? You know, I keep saying to get rid of the women's tag titles, and people jump on X and say the same thing I am. They don't give me any credit, of course, but all good. The idea of keeping tag team champions in the women's division, main roster, is what's preventing any of these singles titles mean anything outside of being, you know, just glamorous. Because all the women that could be in interesting single story build-ups are getting randomly mashed up to be in tag team matches. And not too long ago, literally had Lyra Valkyria and Bayley sweep all the tag teams in one night, just crushing the entire idea of putting a focus on the tag team titles while crushing any kind of momentum the women can have as singles performers. This is definitely the biggest issue for the women's division, and it does obviously spill into Raw. And now there will be even less women because of the cuts, which I'll get to in a sec. But I'm just thinking, why did Piper Niven have to get a partner to be the backup for Chelsea Green, only to have her lose it 5 weeks later? You know, when they were put together as Chelsea Green's security, I said in one of these episodes, they have no impact. They're not doing anything for Chelsea. This is just on the surface. The whole idea could go somewhere very good. I think I said something about Chelsea doing executive orders and whatnot, like having people have matches to see who qualifies to face her, reneging on open challenges, things like that. Would have been really good. Security just pummeling singles women instead of trying to be a tag team force that just got squashed anyway. I think Piper would have been a great rival build for Tiffany or Chelsea Green while Chelsea was the champion. Naomi, Bianca, while they were holding belts but not competing in tag team matches, you know? Definitely the rival with Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. And in my opinion, they don't need to be in tag teams to continue that angle. In fact, I think them in singles competition against one another could make for some interesting storytelling in wrestling. But there seems to be a big missing piece of the puzzle that isn't presented to us, and you could say obviously, that is preventing the story of these women on this roster doing anything of value or telling any type of story whatsoever. Honestly, I thought Natalya was going to be the champion of one of these belts, Intercontinental or US, and I thought she was going to workhorse it. I thought that would have been an awesome idea. Something along those lines is what's missing, and I can't be the only person that has thought of this. Right? There's also a big crossover right now with great matches, typically tag team matches with the women of NXT in the Smackdown division. Not so much the Raw women's division here and there, but like Io was just over there. But that's the thing, they're going over there and having these top tier matches on the smaller brand, and I'm confused on whether they're trying to elevate NXT or just keep someone busy because they don't have ideas for any type of story for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to put Io and Julia in the ring right now, but everyone's gonna get it, and we already got it, you know what I mean, in tag team version. Those things aren't cooking, and it's also happening amidst a giant shift in the landscape of how WWE operates and how TKO is, where TKO is headed, and there have just been cuts. The releases are about the paychecks, and the thing is, man, the fake outrage is terrible. You know, I see people like saying, oh, Triple H is evil, and oh, is it a coincidence, like they're all women? You know, people trying to cry that Cora Jade was released, and it's like, dude, no one, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Just a bunch of gooners like crying they don't get to see their favorite female or one of them. It's ridiculous, dude. Cora Jade wasn't doing anything. That might not be her fault. Shayna wasn't doing anything. Not Shayna's fault. I'm not blaming anybody. Braun Strowman definitely interesting because he was pretty relevant, you know, not too long ago, at least I thought. But I don't believe that my call about being Hot Girl Season was at all off. I think the WWE could definitely use and benefit from people like Shayna Baszler, like Natty. I know Natty didn't get released, but I mean more effectively, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It feels like it's just going to be homogenized and eye candy, the females women's division, and in my opinion, for Smackdown mostly, but I feel the same way about Raw too, you know, and just me being logical here, it would feel like the switch in for Bayley at WrestleMania was to make sure she didn't get released for sitting there being inactive, by choice or not. Maybe that's what H meant when he said Bayley will be fine, meaning that what he did was pull a move that let both of them not be released. I don't think there should be an obsession about the releases anyway. It's so odd to me that people get this upset. Yes, it's unfortunate. We don't want to see anybody like be homeless or anything like that. At the same time, you're not running the business. I don't know what's so difficult about that, because I don't understand. Let me put it this way. I never see, for Dakota Kai, for example, I never see people showing clips of great matches from her and whatnot. Now, me personally, I really didn't care about Dakota at all until the War Games, I think 2 years ago or what have you, and she basically destroyed her body throughout the whole match, and then she came back and did it again, and then did it again. She's tough and she goes 100%. I'm not giving my personal opinion here, you know, saying, oh, I don't see any clips from her. I know what Dakota is capable of, but what I'm saying is online, I don't see any of that. All I see is, oh, she got new hair. Oh, Dakota Kai in some shorts or something. Like, that's all the outrage cares about. You know what I mean? I understand there's children looking up to some of these performers, but show me the Dakota Kai diehard. I'm not even trying to be mean, dude. Paying a hefty fee. Now, we know Braun gets paid big bucks. He is an attraction to an extent, but maybe just not enough for what he gets paid, dude. Dakota, same thing. This TKO era, it is about Hollywood and corporate networking. That's why all the celebrities are there at WWE events, UFC events, PBR events. Welcome to TKO Talk, man. That's what we're talking about here. I lived through the times these companies had to pander to fans in order to make a buck. That is not what is happening anymore. The fans are there no matter how much bickering and moaning goes on in internet land. The only way anything would ever change is if everybody stopped spending money. And I don't see that happening because WWE now has tickets that cost $40,000. Now, I want to say there's a very good chance I'll never buy one of those tickets in my lifetime. That's possible. However, I think a lot of people grossly underestimate how many people with disposable income are available that will pay for something like this. Because the perks you get is basic. Look, man, this is to appeal to influencers and crypto bros. Now, you may have a problem with that, you may not. That's not what I'm here to police for you. But what that is giving you, that ticket is giving you the feeling of being important, a celebrity for that weekend. And as long as you know that's what you're paying for, I'm not gonna, dude, if I had disposable $40,000 and I was bored, yeah, I'd do it. You guys are forgetting how many fucking millionaires are in this country, in this world. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people just happy to spend that and get privately driven around and smoke a blunt with Kevin Nash and shit. And then get it all on TikTok and then clip it up and then make more millions. There's so many of these people because it feels like the world is the ones that don't have that. But that's true, but there's also this slice of millions of people with millions and billions of dollars. And you're lying if you're like, oh, little kids will never get to go. Now, bet money. Parents that have the money to get those tickets for little kids will buy them. They will indeed buy them. And I don't know what you're talking about anyway. Oh, little kids can still go to the event. They just don't get to sit front row hard cam. You know what I mean? It has to change, bro. You can't put little kids in the front row. It is 2025, not 1988, 92. You know what I mean? This is not gonna stop. The money is coming in, and we can love it or hate it, but that's what's driving the business decisions, the power. In my opinion, it's otherworldly that TKO or any company can do something like what is being done right now. And we're gonna see if it succeeds or fails. This crying about the tickets, it's like you were never gonna buy. You're not the audience or market for it. Who cares? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you think it's too expensive. It doesn't. First off, you're probably never had any plans to go to the front fucking row anyway. And secondly, there's plenty of people that will buy that, enjoy the show, because that's basically all any of us can do about it.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfucker.